Welcome everyone to Live Stream Reviews. My name is Christian Karasevich, and I'm joined by Leticia Campbell, co-hosting with me on Live Stream Reviews, where our goal is to help you with your live streams, whether it's to help you improve your live stream, help you work through maybe a challenge you have, and whatnot. So I'm going to go and bring on Leticia. We're going to kick things off. She's got a question, I think, for you all. But while I do that, do me a favor in the comments, tell us where you're tuning in from. And then I think Leticia just asked, please head over and hit that like button. By the way, if you're on YouTube, hit the like button, click that notification bell as well, so you don't miss the show. But Leticia, it's fantastic having you back again.
Nice to be here, Christian. Hey guys, how y'all doing?
So I know you have a question for our audience, right?
Yes, absolutely. So my question this week for you guys is this: what do you guys are doing with your shows? What we want you guys to come on and talk about your show, which is the overall goal of this talk show that Christian and I do every single week, which is, what is your show about? What is the goal of your show? What is the goal of your live? You know, whether you're showing a weekly, every day, every other day. And then we want to piggyback from there. We want to also get you guys to ask us some questions that you may have that you're coming across as you are doing your show on a consistent basis. So let's talk about your show. Join us on screen. This is the conversation for you guys. We want to hear about what you guys are doing on your show. Or do you have a guest? Do you don't have a guest? Do you have intros? How are you doing your banners? How are you doing your overlays? Like, what is the goal of the show? Like, literally, when you hit that end broadcast button, what are people walking away with? So definitely join us on screen and let's talk about it.
Definitely, yeah. And I would say a lot of really familiar faces here, by the way.
We
got Stuart here. We got Stuart tuning in from Scotland. We have Toya Glenn here as well.
Hey, Toya.
Adam's Exploits. Good to see you as usual from South Jersey, east of Philly. We've got Guitar Giveaway Channel from tuning in from Australia. Fantastic.
Wow, Australia.
New user Graham Koth. By the way, Graham, thanks a lot for joining us. Says his web show is all about music. The goal is to promote new music.
Right.
Fantastic.
Oh, come on. We would love to hear about that. We're always getting those questions about music. Yeah.
We got Marleth tuning in from Colombia. Fantastic. By the way, and just a quick note, I'm going to show this comment. So if you happen to be tuning in and you have not gone to streamyard.com/Facebook, you're going to see, for example, this one is a comment from a Facebook user. You want to go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and if you go there, it's going to give you a page where basically you're going to have to let us see your comments. So this way we can see your smiling faces, we can see who you are, and we can recognize you on the live show.
Yes. And guys, feel free. Again, we put the link there for you guys to get on. The guest link is in the comments right now. It's swirling through there for you guys to come on screen and come on and shout out your show. Yes.
And, Arthur's asking, getting ready to fire up an art marking show. Congrats, by the way.
Wow. Yeah, come on and tell us about it. Tell the audience about it. That's amazing. Yeah.
Elise Jordan is asking, what webcams are you guys using? So Elise,
great question.
We'd love to answer that. Actually, we'd love to, if you want to come on screen with us, actually, we'd love to have you come on screen so we can kind of talk through that with you. We can maybe see some of your setup.
Yeah.
So that way, if you have a question on that, we'd love to help you with that.
That's right.
That's
cool. Right.
So by the way, don't be shy, by the way. Come on screen. Come on, join us live.
Yes, your cameras have to be on. Yeah. That's important.
And then we'll have a private chat where basically we'll just we'll want to know what your question is, so it helps us, make sure we can get through those questions.
Right. Canada's here.
Awesome.
Elise asked how long we're going to be on. Yeah, come on now. Christian, can you share the story when I first came on the show? My hair wasn't done, honey. I just got done cleaning the house, and I was like, I'm going to come on and ask my question, because during the time I had a really, really interesting question that I needed Christian to answer, and then I went from there. Okay, Elisa says she's coming. Hey, awesome. Sydney, how are you? Happy to see you on. Alex Shore, thank you for tuning in. Our goal live stream. You see Thrill.
Let's bring that one up from Thrill Geek.
Yes.
Our goal is live streaming our podcast. Yeah. You can use StreamYard, by the way, to live stream you can use StreamYard to create a live stream, for example, you could broadcast out to YouTube, and then you can actually download the audio. There's the ability to download a stereo mix, or there's also the ability to download the individual audio tracks if you're on the StreamYard Pro account.
Absolutely.
And then you can take that and run it through your favorite audio editing tool. For example, you can bring it into GarageBand. I, for example, use Audacity for my podcast editing. So I do all my recording through StreamYard. I download the audio, and then I put it into Audacity, and then I bring it into Auphonic, which basically is a tool that, it takes, like, if my intro is this high and my audio between myself and my guests is this, it'll actually normalize everything to where it's all in the same playing field.
I like that, because to be honest, Christian, I watch podcasts, and when the sound goes up and down, it's annoying. I got to inbox you about that.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, Leticia likes to make notes during the show.
I sure do.
As everyone else should, actually. You should have a pen and paper, and, if it's digital or if it's physical, take some notes during the show about something that you want to improve in your show, and then something you can quickly, like, work on starting today.
Right. I learn something new every time. Every time. Absolutely. I think I missed someone. You see Arthur's comment?
Yeah. So Arthur's asking, is there a way to control the mic volume for each participant? So let me actually do this. Let me open up another StreamYard dashboard, and we'll actually show you a test of this. Okay. And so, like, you know what? Feel free to join us. By the way, I know Darren, Dimeback Darren says I'm working, or I'd come up, but yeah, feel free to, like, join us.
Go sneak outside or in the bathroom. I used to do that a lot of times at work. Yes, sneak in the bathroom. Yeah. You guys are coming in from all over. Bernadine, while you doing that, Christian, just running through the comments real quick. Bernadine said, I haven't done anything fancy with overlays yet. Still learning. Absolutely. Like, you don't need those things. Those are just add-ons. Live streaming, I call, is like an onion. The core of the onion is the content. Obviously, you got to always make sure that you spend time on. Right. And then after that, you got the sound, camera, everything else is just the outward layers. Really what people show up for is definitely the content. So yeah, guys, join us on screen with your questions. We see a couple people logging on in. We would love to get you guys on the screen. Does not prevent me from feeling. Absolutely. That's right.
Here's I'm gonna share my entire screen here. I want to answer Arthur's question here. By the way, Jericho, if you want to come on, you do need to turn your webcam on.
Yes, we need those camera on the whole time.
So everybody can see who you are, and also learn about your stream. So
awesome.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring up my StreamYard dashboard. So Arthur, I think, was asking about how do I control the volume, and so this is how it would work. So for example, here I am on the stream, and so now here is Leticia. Let's say I want to change her volume. So I'm going to simply hover over her video window here, click the three dots, and then I should have an edit mic settings option. Now she is muted right now, so I don't have the ability so she has to unmute herself. So when she unmutes herself, you can see edit mic settings is an option. I click on that, and now I can adjust echo cancellation. I can adjust her mic volume automatically.
Right.
Or I could uncheck that and make a manual adjustment there. So if I want to have it automatically do it, I can turn it on. But if I want to adjust the volume, I just simply adjust it there.
Right.
So I hope that answers your question in terms of how you go about adjusting a guest volume. Now, I will say, and I have to remember the name of the program. We talked about it with Leo Mandela, actually. Let me see if I can.
Right. That was really good.
There's it's called, like, I think it's and if you all remember from the show, by the way, there was a product. It was a voice decibel meter.
Okay.
Let me see if I can remember the name of this.
Yeah.
I
think I remember it.
App, actually. Yeah. I think it's called, I want to say it's Sound Meter, maybe, or no, hold on. Is it Decibel X? Let's see. I can't remember the name. There is a program though. So if you're also talking about, like, how do I normalize someone else's volume? There is a separate program you'd want to download for that to be able to have the person. It brings up audio meters. You can talk to the. You could basically go into the program. It'll show you, like, how many decibels the people are at. So therefore, if I am over there if I'm over there, like, and I see, okay, my decibels are here and Leticia's here, I could say, hey, Leticia, bring your audio up, and then we can get her volume to the right level there.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's right. That's right. And also another thing too, on top of that, you know, with managing your guest sounds and stuff, you also got to make sure they also have headphones. That is important as well to avoid playback. Mm-hmm.
definitely, yeah. So got a couple of questions here. By the way, don't be shy. Here's the thing: don't be shy about coming on screen with us. We want you to come on screen. We want to help you.
Come to us.
Yeah. So Leticia dropped the link there, I think.
Yep, I dropped it. Yep,
yeah,
it's there.
come on.
Mm-hmm.
Jericho, by the way, if you have a specific question, can you just put that in the private chat just so we know what your questions are?
Right. That would help us so much. It really would. Thank you. And those of you who do come on as a guest, just make sure you keep your eye out on the private chat back here.
So I want to bring up the first question from Village Rising Community. How do you create intros and outros? So are you asking for an intro graphic or are you asking for an intro video?
Yeah, which one is it? Because those are two separate things. Yeah.
So if you tell me you want to create an intro graphic, I would encourage you to use two tools here. I'd either say use Canva or Easel for making the intro graphic, the static graphic that you're going to bring up. For example, the one at the beginning of the show, the one at the end that I bring up over top of everyone before I hit end broadcast, for example. So that's how I would start making that. Now, if you're talking about an intro video or an outro video, you could do some of that in Canva. Canva has some video options there. I think you have to be on the Canva Pro account.
Right.
But you also have other tools. For example, if you want to use, like, I think it's wave.video, actually, we actually have done an article and a video on that where we show you how to actually go about creating like a countdown timer. You can put at the beginning, and then you could mimic that at the end of your live stream as well, if you're interested in that. I'm going to get the link for that, actually drop it in the comments here. But if that's what you mean, let me know. If not, we can also make other recommendations. So it'll say how to create a countdown timer, but you can also use it to make intros and outros.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. Leticia, you want to bring our first guest up? We got Jume.
Yes. So let's bring on Jericho up first. Hey, Jericho, thank you for coming on. First, talk about your show, and then we want to know your question.
I don't have
your sound is very low.
Let's see if I can adjust it.
Yeah, let's see.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe he needs another headphone. Sometimes it's like that when we're using game headphones. The mic is like so low. Because I tried to use my son's gaming headphones the other day, and I was like, "We can't hear you."
Actually, what can also happen sometimes, by the way, is if you're plugging in headphones into, for example, into a computer, for example, or an audio interface. I'm going to go and hold this up just so you can see this. There's something called TRS Tip Ring Sleeve, and let's see if you can see this. Hopefully, I can get it to focus.
Bring your hand closer to it. There it goes, coming through. It's coming. There she is. A little bit.
Finally getting there. Let's see.
Almost there.
Here, let's try it one more time. Okay, normally this is actually picking up. So basically, what I'm trying to show you is, okay, there you go. So you see on the headphones, there's those little black rings. Basically, if you don't have the right headphone connector, so just because it plugs into the port doesn't mean it's the right thing.
Right.
So sometimes you'll have like a 2-port connector, for example, and you're trying to talk into that. It's not able to make the right connection. You need the other one for the mic. And so you want to make sure you have the right connection for your headphones as well. So that's a TRS connection. So this is a 3-port one. So for example, if there's a mic, it should pick that up. So you want to make sure you got the right one there.
Yeah. And someone before Jericho gets in, LinkedIn said, how can they get the link to get on? Does it show in the comments on LinkedIn?
It should actually.
I'm gonna put it in there again.
Yeah. So Errol, we'll drop it in. So
I got you.
Okay, cool. So let's go and bring Jericho. What's your question? Your mic's muted now. So here's what I want to do. I'm gonna Jericho, go ahead and fix your audio, and like go ahead and make your adjustments, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna swap you out with someone, and
Juma
then
is
we'll bring you
next.
right back in. Okay. Okay. So let's go and bring in Juma.
Yes.
Leticia.
Hey Juma, how are you?
Hi guys. Are you hearing me okay?
Oh yeah, it sounds great. Yeah.
Real good.
Okay, wonderful. I'm so glad to be here. This is so interesting. I started using StreamYard just a while ago. Do you need my question right now?
I love your accent.
Oh, thank you. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
I can tell.
Oh, it's so great. Should I go ahead and ask the question now?
Well, first talk about what your show is all about and
Okay, great.
what's the overall goal of your show. Shout
All
your
right,
show out.
So I run the show on LinkedIn. It's a LinkedIn live show, and the name of the show is the Useful Content Creation Show. It's a weekly show. I just started it about 3 weeks ago. I've had 3 episodes under my belt, and I started the show because I felt it was necessary to be able to teach people practical and useful things about content creation. All the content on my LinkedIn page, I do a lot of video, so I talk about video a whole lot, and there's a guest segment on the show that I pre-record and I run. So I usually use StreamYard to pull the video file in and put it on the stream, and it runs really well. So I have like an intro, and I have like a segment where I talk to the audience and try and engage them, and then I have another video where I show a practical thing about lighting or about video creation, and then I have an interview segment which is about 25 minutes long,
Right.
and then we have the outro, which is like asking questions and doing a wrap up. So it's the show runs from about 45 minutes to like an hour long. The last one was about 52 minutes. So it's going well so far. The second one had some technical problems. I have to admit, there was some dead air for a while trying to get the things going.
Wow. Yes.
But last week was this week, Saturday. This week was really great. It ran smoothly, and it was fantastic. So I'm looking forward to next week. I already have my new guest booked, and it's going well.
Awesome. So what's your question?
So my question is around audience engagement. So the second show that didn't go very well, after that, it was like a punch to the gut, essentially. And I went back and I regrouped and I kind of reassessed what was happening. And I said, one thing that I'm missing, because I have so many recorded segments, is audience engagement. And I wanted to know, are there any special techniques or ways that you could engage the audience while on the live stream that, really help people get into what you're doing really strongly?
Okay, so say again how long you've been doing the show?
Okay, so the show has only been on this. Next week will be the 4th episode of the live stream, and so I'm trying to get people to engage more with the thing that when I speak to them, when I speak to the audience, I'm trying to get people engaged.
So
more.
for one, you're real early. You're like 4% into it, right? Because it's the 4th episode going into episode number 5. So you're really early. Through time, engagement will happen when your audience sees your consistency. They see that they want to contribute to the show by commenting and then also sharing. So after a while, just like this show, the live stream reviews, you're going to see a lot of people that come on and they're watching over and over again. So you want to show appreciation to those viewers and shout them out and thank them for tuning in, and get them to they'll become your own moderators, your organically moderators will go in and reply in the chat and really build that community within the show. So that's what it is. Don't give up. I mean, like I said, you're really early. You just started the show. I think right now the focus should be giving great content. You know what I'm saying? Versus viewership. Because the reason why I say that is because I know somebody's going to say, well, it is important to have views and stuff. But yes, it is. But the bottom line is that if you are not giving great content, those future viewers, those people that will come on and watch are not really going to stay watching. And people show up first for the content first. So focus on that. And really, when you're looking back at your replays, because in the past, I used to be so afraid to go back and look at my replays. I would judge myself. I would judge myself and stuff. So it's probably been a year now that I really started to sit, while I'm eating dinner or whatever, and actually put my Bluetooth on and actually listen to my replay and say, okay, I got to change this. I got to alter that. Oh, you know what? I noticed that when I was talking about this particular talking point, a lot of people engage and interact. So, I'm gonna make a whole show about just that talking point. So that's what I do really a lot. And for you, content and then after content, go into community building. And then after that, there's all these other layers of monetization, sponsorships, and things like that. That's later on. But for right now, I think the reason why I say focus on content first is because if you focus on viewership, you're not going to stay consistent. But if you focus on content, like, and Christian and I have another show we do where we say, have a calendar in front of you. You should have like a wall calendar somewhere where you're writing out your topics every single week and what you're going to talk about when you, and then after that, once you get consistent with what you're doing, now you're thinking about refurbishing, going back and seeing which topics got the most, interaction. Because I believe interaction and engagement are two different things, but that's another conversation. But, and you're going back and you're refurbishing that again and revisiting your audience back to that topic. What do you think, Christian?
So I did want to bring up actually a couple of things. So the first thing I want to bring up is I'm going to bring up your channel, and it's Juma Bannister, right? Is that your?
Yeah. It's
awesome. I love this.
Okay. So I'm going to bring up your channel. I will say this. I'm not going to give you the YouTube channel review itself, but I'm going to just give you some initial impressions of things. First off, we do have a separate show that's done on the Streamyard channel for YouTube channel reviews. So if you want to get some YouTube tips, definitely go and check that out. They do it one time a month. But so just a couple of initial impressions. You've got 4 videos. So I will say you have to do more. Like 4 is not going to like move the needle for the most part. That's going to be the first thing. So the next thing I'm going to look at here, like, so for example, so you've got some hashtags in here, Monday motivation, you can do it. Development takes time. So for example, like every live stream you produce or you create, for example, from StreamYard out to YouTube, you're going to want to go back and you're going to want to optimize. And I always do this, by the way. I schedule my stream and then I go over to YouTube and I edit the title, the description, and I add tags to the videos. I do this for every single live stream. And the reason I do this is because it's going to help surface that. So for example, you put 3 hashtags, which is great, but then I'm looking at your tags. You don't have any tags.
Right. Okay.
So you have no tags on the video. So tags along with your title and your description, they kind of get combined. And then YouTube will use that to help surface your content to other people. So that's going to be the first thing. So embrace the process.
Well, most my live stream actually runs from LinkedIn. I haven't done a lot. I am going to YouTube soon. I am.
Okay.
But most of my content is on LinkedIn. That's my home base, actually.
Okay. How is the traffic? How's the views and whatnot on LinkedIn?
So I had 135 views, somewhere around 80 something comments, and somewhere 80 something reactions, and a whole lot, like 70 something comments right now. So I think the key thing is going to be it's going to be engaging. Make sure you're engaging with the audience. So engage with them through comments. Make sure the content is something that works very well. Like for example, I love your header of your YouTube channel. For example, I like the fact that you're telling people who you are and what you can help them with. So I really like that. And so I think really just making sure like the content fits with that is going to be key. And again, make sure your audience is on, is your content creator on LinkedIn? That's actually a question I would have, because I actually don't think the content creator is necessarily on LinkedIn. I think the content creator is on another platform.
I totally agree.
LinkedIn's a good platform.
Explain that for me. Explain that for me. Go further.
Well, so like, for example, like when I think of a content creator, I'm thinking of somebody who's creative, for example. I'm thinking of somebody who's not like they're teaching people like creative things to do. Like, for example, if it's graphic design or if it's photography, things like that, people are going to be looking for probably how-tos, tutorials, things like that. They're going to be looking for video content, and chances are that's going to be on YouTube. I don't think they're going to go to LinkedIn to look for that necessarily.
Right. Because you got to think of when they're typing in onto Google, the first thing that pops up is YouTube, because YouTube is like the second search engine. You think about it. So, yeah.
So here's what I would do though. I would run a test.
Yes.
And what I would do is so in StreamYard, there's a multi-streaming option. I would set up a live stream. I'd broadcast out to LinkedIn. I'd also broadcast out to YouTube.
Right.
And go through the process on your YouTube videos, add the title, the description, the tags, make them relevant to what your topic is going to be about, and then do your live stream to both channels. So multi-stream, and then look at your results and see. And again, 1 time, 1 month, not enough time. You got to do more. Yeah. And so, you know, look at it over time and see, you know, where does it perform the best? And you know what? Yeah, go ahead, Leticia.
I do like the fact that he's intentional too. Which I know you're going to mention that too, Christian. It's like we do see people start channels and it's all over the place. And you definitely hit that bullseye. I love the logo because I'm like, that logo could be on a t-shirt, it could be on a coffee mug, and you could make your own Juma drinks, you know what I'm saying, for that. And so I like that. And I wish I had that idea when I was first initially paying somebody to do my logo, because I can't like really put that on anything. It's too detailed. Like I really like, I even like the red. I know some people may not like red, but I do like, I think the red fits you well. You're from the island. So it's like, it's bright, it's vibrant, it's all those things. And when people come to your show, I see in that banner that you, with the color scheme, I like it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So that's going to be my recommendation. I know I'm looking at some of the comments here, you know, guitar giveaway channel saying YouTube's #1. You have to look at the content you're creating and where your audience is going to be at. So I love the idea of putting it on LinkedIn, but you do have to, you know, kind of balance the content you're going to be creating and, you know, sharing with people. For example, if it's visual content, you know, people just think about it. Does somebody go to YouTube to look for a video, or are they going to LinkedIn maybe to have a further discussion, things like that?
Right. Maybe what you could do to pivot a little bit is maybe put clips of the show on LinkedIn to get the traffic to YouTube. So because that's really where you want people to watch, because you can create playlists on YouTube. I mean, shelves, what is it called? It's like reels, shorts, all kinds of things. So like cut up, and I do that a lot with my show because I have a specific platform that I want people to watch the show, which again is YouTube. So I will maybe cut up the show and just like only put the most juiciest, you know, most curious, the parts that, you know, create some more curiousness. Like, oh, what was she talking about? Oh, let me go over to her channel and check her out. Yeah. Just like they do for like reality shows and things like that to get us excited for the scene to come. Like when somebody's about to fight, they'll just show the person running to the girl, but then, you know, they don't really show the like, the hit. You know, you're like, oh, I'm gonna watch this season, girl. And it don't really even be anything that happened.
And I got one other tool. I want to show you this. So I don't know if you all are familiar with this. There's a tool. It's called Streamable.
Oh my God.
You can go to streamable.com. And so basically this is a tool where you can create clips from your videos. So this might be useful for you, Juma. So I've taken one of your YouTube videos and I literally have just copied and pasted. So I'm going to paste it into Streamable.
Oh my God, Christian, you're the best.
Here. So basically, like we could go through, for example, let's scroll through here. So
oh my God, it's exciting.
So let's do that. Let's say we want to make this, you know, let's say we want to make this 15 seconds or 10 seconds. Let's go to 10.
Oh my, this is cool.
So I can literally go in here right now. And like, as you can see, I'm just going frame by frame. And now I could create a 10-second video clip, for example, of your video that you've created. And then I can actually go and do some things. I can actually crop this if I want to. I could rotate the video. So if I want to like only put the framing on certain parts.
Right.
I could turn the sound off, for example, as well. So, you know, if that's an option I want to do, I can do that as well. But now I can basically create, let me see if I can play this real quick. So I basically can create this very short piece of content. So as you can see, here's my importance of scripting. So now I'm able to, so what I would maybe recommend doing is taking your videos, creating a couple of clips off of this, and then posting those maybe on LinkedIn to generate some like conversation to, you know, on your profile, for example, or on your company page if you have one.
Yeah.
Verona says she was about to ask that question. See, Christian's like a Rolodex of stuff.
Just have a mind reader, actually.
Hardware and software. Yes.
Yeah, that is an option. Yeah. So Verona, if you want to, it's called Streamable. I'll drop it in the comments here. So
it's really good.
That's
So,
what I would do. I don't know. Anything else you want to add, Leticia?
Okay.
I mean, no, I think he's going the right direction. I think, more needs to be consistency, focus on content. And from there, you could start to go back and do your research and saying, hey, what are people liking? What are they gravitating to? What topics that I really enjoy talking about that I want to talk about again?
Mhm.
So, yeah. How about you, Juma?
This was great. Let me just recap what you will say.
Yes.
So you're saying to me that based upon the type of content that I want to do, a good strategy may be to move the home base of the things that I'm doing to the YouTube platform, and then take that and cut those pieces of content out, like the quotes, the quotables, and the short clips, and then put that onto the LinkedIn platform so we could direct traffic back to the main
to the
home
YouTube.
page, and
That's
then
right.
build that strategy of kind of. So essentially, I need to switch bases. That's what you're
Right.
recommending.
And that's marketing to me. Yes, you want to show up everywhere, but it's different ways you show up everywhere. You don't have to show up everywhere the same way. And and I always tell my clients this, every platform you have to have some intention. If you're saying that you want to eventually, 5-7 years from now, monetize and pivot other things off of your content, you got to say, does the platform I'm on right now, does it support that? And does my audience want to always continue to watch me here? So that's what you have to ask yourself, is have an actual, like, just like for a business, you'd have a business plan for your shows. You have a show plan, show vision, like make a vision board for the show, where you see the show. Like I was even I'm looking into residencies for my show to where I can actually broadcast in front of a physical live audience and stream at the same time. So I'm looking at ways to now saying, you know what, I have to shift what I'm doing, because I see it more than just this. Is I wanted to like pivot outward, not inward. So because then you stop, then you don't feel stuck and feel like you're just going in a hamster wheel. You're not moving anywhere. You're like, and yes, it's not the common way that everyone else is telling us to do, but it's your way and it's your journey, it's your path. So do that. And I'm telling you right now, this time next year, you're going to be probably in a totally different arena. Stay consistent where you are.
And I want to add one other thing real quick. So you mentioned home base.
Right.
So I've got a social media background. And so I always tell people the same thing. Their home base needs to be something they own. So, and what I mean by that is you should have a website, something that you own. So you should have your own website domain, your own website, and then you use your social media channels to help market what you're doing. So for example, if you're doing live streams, for example, on my website, I have blog post, and then I embed the YouTube video, the live stream that I've done into the article. So then that way I'm able to have like a place that I own. And the reason I say that is because let's just say something happened to shut down, or let's say a platform actually they closed the platform. You would not, if you were building on a social media platform and it went down, you don't have anything at that point. Yeah. So you want to, I'd always encourage people to try to start, it doesn't have to be huge. Start with just a website, embed all your videos, for example, on those platforms. So then that way you're starting to drive people there. You can get their email, you can capture their email address. You can learn more about who your audience is. You can get some search rankings, things like that, and then use the social media channels as a means to like help spread your content.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Absolutely.
I do have a domain, but it's kind of nothing is going on with it. So I think I should fix that.
I mean, your domain can go to an opt-in page. So as people are watching, you're getting people on your email list. So it's like have your domain for the show so that you own the name in a sense, because you have the domain for it. I think that's always a really, really good idea as well. Yeah.
I have one last question. Could I ask?
Sure.
it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I have my domain. I have one domain, which is my name.
Okay.
And when I started the show, I got that domain as well. It was available, so I have both of them. I guess the struggle is to which one should I focus on? Should I focus on the show being a thing and promoting that, or should I just use my name as a domain and then put all the products out from there and just in terms of structuring that. So I know, Christine, you were talking about your home base and making sure that you have control over that space.
Right.
So it's just like, what is the preferred way, or what, in your experience, what is, and I don't want to say what's the best practice, but because something might be different for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know, what are your guys' take on your name, like for instance, Christian.com versus whatever your show's name.com?
Okay, so I will say I have two different types. So I will say this, I started my website with my name. I didn't do my full name because that was too hard for people to spell. So I started with my own domain and I started building a bunch of stuff there. And then I built some different channels. But then I branched out and said, okay, I launched a podcast, for example. I have a separate website for that podcast. I have a separate digital agency that is totally also a separate website.
Right.
So I've gotten away from using my name for that and building basically sites specific to what I'm doing.
Right.
And then the benefit, I mean, there's like it, and it's a hard question, I guess, to answer, but like I think the key thing is start with one.
Yes.
You know, like if you want to, if your name is what you want to be known for, like great. You can also get your name on a business domain as well. So if you've got a business domain and you're writing the articles and you're creating the content, your name can also get associated with that because it's in the title, it's in the author, it might be in, you know, the bottom part of the page and so forth. And then actually Going Green Mom actually also mentions you can redirect a domain to another one at some point as well.
Right. Anytime you could have it bounce around. You know, that's such a personal decision. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I am a personal brand. So no, I'm not going to have Leticia in front of it. You know, as I said, when I sat down and I did my LLC and my domain, I said, I'm building this for my children's children. So when I leave this earth, this can last for generations. Like you're always going to hear Campbell Success Network. You're going to hear it for the next 100 years. So when I was thinking of my domain, I was like, that's what it is. Campbell Success Network. It's an umbrella. And it's so many different pillars under that umbrella. So people will tell you, get your name. I don't believe in that. I don't subscribe to that because again, you're bigger than you're big. You got to think, like I said, you got to think, you know, like you are this huge, huge, huge icon and everyone's looking at you and like you're a big brand. That's what you got to think of it. Like you've already made your $1 billion. You know, Jeff Bezos didn't call Amazon Jeff Bezos. He called it Amazon. And that's you wanted to be a household name. Yeah.
And one thing I want to add to this, like,
go right ahead.
I want to get people to, I want everyone to think bigger.
Yes.
So for example, if I think about like, okay, so if I'm thinking right now, hey, I've got no followers, for example, I've got a small audience. Oh, I'm going to buy my own domain, my name. But the thing is, you have to remember, you can, and this is, it's hard for people to like,
that's what I'm saying, Christian. You know what I'm talking about? It's hard for some people to get that part.
Like, because I've made this mistake too. Like, you have to just think like long term and say, you know what? I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make it successful, and you can always go back on things. Yeah. Like, so for example, if you let's just say you start out with the wrong, like, say you use your name as the domain, and then all of a sudden you hit something, and all of a sudden it starts to take off. You can always change it. Like there's, you know, there, like, if I, and I can tell you, like, having worked for like a Fortune 500 company, for example, like, like, you know, like there are, like, you have more monetary resources at that point, but you can always go change it. You can always, for example, if you were only able to get the the .live of a domain, you wanted the .com. Well, then, hey, once you actually start to get big and you do make a lot of money at that point, you can always go back and buy the domain and then get somebody else to fix it. The key thing is get started, for example, with your live streams, and, you know, have an idea of where you want to take it and work to get there. And I want to make sure, I want to make sure I highlight a couple of quick comments here from NLTMW. Actually, he says, for starters, would you build a house on borrowed land? That's in terms of buying a website domain, building something there versus renting essentially a place on a social media platform. The platforms are there to help you market. They're not necessarily there to help you be the place to build.
Right. And I want to say a point to where somebody was mentioning, I think it was NLT as well, that you want to buy your name as a domain in case somebody steals it. Ownership to me is LLC. Ownership to me is DBAs. Ownership to me is trademarking. That's what I mean by ownership. Domains don't mean nothing if you don't own own your business. That's you know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to get you guys to get clear on. You could buy a domain, you call it whatever you want, and if somebody comes around, and I've seen this happen hundreds of times in the past 20 years I've been online.
Yeah.
Somebody comes along and they actually get the trademark, comes back, sends you an email and says, hey, you can't go by that name no more. I own the trademark. I own the LLC. You lost everything. Poof, be gone. The minute you drop it again, you're going to get, cease and desist, lawsuits, everything like that. Ownership is about you having paperwork on it. I got paperwork.
And there's a couple of really good points here. I mean, the key thing is to just get started. So
yes,
your idea could think of it like this. You have a very small idea and you want to make it this really big idea. You know what you want that to become. So for example, you're going to launch a YouTube channel or you're going to launch a live stream. Fantastic. Now, how do you fill in the gaps there? So, the key things are going to be testing. So trying out different things, as we mentioned earlier, try YouTube,
right.
LinkedIn, see which, and if you do the right process, optimize the video, for example, see which one's actually going to perform the best. And then you can decide, you know what, I want to shift my strategy. Now, while that's go and get your domains, for example, get a couple of website domains that you think you're going to want to use and hold them in your back pocket and then decide and make the decision, you know what? Okay, I'm going to start with this one. This is the one I'm going to build on and start and build that website. It doesn't have to be complicated. Doesn't have to be fancy. Doesn't have to be slick.
Yeah.
Build the website and put your content on it and then start to add more to it. Basically, you're building that house.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Oh, good stuff.
Any other questions?
No, that's it. I mean, I have a lot to muse upon and to consider and to ruminate upon. So that's great. Thank you so much, Christian. Thank you so much.
I like your setup. Just let everybody know, because I know they're probably gonna ask what type of mic you're using.
I can switch it. Do you want to see?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So he's using an ATEM Mini, by the way, I can tell.
It's a Mini Pro. This is NT1, Rode NT1. It's a condenser microphone. And and that's basically the main thing. I have my SL60 Godox light up here. I have my LED panel in the back and just some other lamps for coloration. It's the middle of the day where I am right now, so light is coming through the window across there, and that's helping with the light as well. And that's basically it. I have my monitors for music and my TV screen across here where I can monitor everything going on, and I'm good to go.
I love it.
So I will say this: you have the equipment. You don't need any more equipment for one.
Nothing else. Don't you dare.
So now it's
no matter what Christian says.
So, by the way, Juma, I did drop a link. If you're not part of our Facebook group, do us a favor, go and join that, because it's a free group. We got 20-something thousand people there. Lots of really good questions and comments always being asked. Go and join us there. We'd love to have you, and then just ask away. I will. You dropped it on YouTube and LinkedIn.
I
did, yes. It's on. I know it's definitely here on YouTube. It should be out on LinkedIn and Facebook, actually.
Okay, I'll go grab that.
Awesome.
I'll go grab that.
Very cool.
I'm excited. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time you've taken and all the stuff that you've said. It's really useful.
Thank you.
All right,
I'll be at the parade this year. I'm gonna try.
Oh, that's great.
Fantastic.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
So
that was good. That was real good.
So, Leticia, we got about 45-ish minutes. Let me go through and answer some of these comments real quick.
Yes, let's skin through.
And let's bring on who do you want to bring on? Lisa?
Let's go back to Jericho. He said he got his connections together. So Jericho, just come off mute, and then it's Alyssa.
So I'm going to answer a couple of questions. Guitar giveaway channels asking, where can you get the Streamyard tee like Leticia? So we have a store on, it's Koth Design actually on Streamyard. I have to find the link.
Yes.
Store.streamyard.com actually.
I like it. Good material.
Actually, sorry. Let me actually get the full link. It's store. Let me actually get the full link for you here. So here's a link to the Streamyard store.
Yes, it's a really good one. They got it in black too as well. And get the hoodies, guys. The hoodies are great quality. I wear them every day, practically, like literally. Get the hoodies too.
Yeah, it's my winter. Like you'll see me switching in now. Like I wear the hoodie though most of the time.
Yeah, Streamyard's about to do a runway show too. I'm saying.
One other comment I want to bring up real quick. I want to bring up Jay Vog's comment to Going Green. Mom here, don't be scared. Try a couple different things. He's talking about using, I think, a website domain, using is to push his sumo videos, sumo wrestling, I assume, you can use it to push whatever you want. So just keep that in mind. Very cool.
Right.
Let me see. And Leticia, go ahead and bring on our next guest. I'm gonna go ahead and just answer this question real quick. So Mike Ryder was asking, is there a way I can get you guys to review your YouTube page without coming on? So I would say this: if it's a YouTube channel, check out the channel reviews that they do.
Right.
It's once a month. I think is it the second Saturday, Leticia?
Second Saturday of every month.
Yeah.
Tune into that, and they will actually review it while you're not on screen. So yeah.
So definitely go there, and that's specifically for your YouTube channel. And I would always recommend this if you have you have a YouTube channel, you're doing YouTube lives. They'll take a look at your channel. They'll look at the first impressions, like the banner, for example. The shelves, having the different shelves on the channel, what the view looks like to the casual viewer as opposed to the admin. So definitely go and check that out. That's on the Streamyard YouTube channel. So Jericho, what question can we answer for you? Go ahead.
I just wanna share. I'm using Streamyard for not let's say I have a YouTube channel, but I'm not promoting that because I'm using only the Streamyard in my events that I'm holding virtually, and I'm only using just a free account of Streamyard, but it gives me big help, even though that I'm using only a free account, but I'm just put an effort on my videos or let's say intro or outro of my videos in my events here in the Philippines.
So
And
what's the Go ahead.
My videos is all about first is about I'm under educational institutions, the institutions that promote from the public and private institutions. From private, let's say last event is about mental health, and in public, I'm just using StreamYard in like parents orientation or something that gives me a big help, even because of too much participants that I can handle it in one time. So I use StreamYard just to maintain the, let's say, the soundness, the calmness of the live streaming.
Okay. So are you and correct me if I'm wrong on this, are you saying that you need help like managing like comments and things like that, the engagement that comes in, or what's the challenge, I guess?
In challenge of that, uh, let's say, how is there any options that sometimes when I use videos or I try to check my internet, it's great high. It's normal. It's almost 100 Mbps.
Okay.
But my video sometimes when I play the video,
Okay.
it's like buffering.
Okay.
So you bring it in the video into the stream, right? So you're already
Yes,
live,
yes.
but you're okay.
So I will ask one question. I would ask, what type of computer are you like if you're bringing the video in from, I think, your hard drive, what's the what type of computer are you running on? Because what that sounds like to me is it may be trying to load a very large file, and the computer's trying to put it up, but then at the same time you also have the internet also playing into that as well. So I know you said you have, I think, 150 megabits per second. Is that upload or download speed?
Downwards.
Okay, so upload is the one that's most important. So do you know what your upload speed is?
Almost,
So your download for the most part is always going to be pretty fast. It's actually going to be a lot faster for most services. Upload is the key thing, because you have to think about it like this. You are the broadcaster. So you're the brain of your show. So you're here and you're pushing everything out to the internet. And so, if you have a 1 gigabyte file that you're uploading, for example, or trying to play live, it's got to be processed by the computer, go up to the internet, And then, so once it gets to the internet, then it gets into your StreamYard dashboard. So if you're noticing that it's buffering, to me, that tells me that either your computer, you need a faster computer, or your internet is the bottleneck, potentially the upload piece. Because you have to remember, if you're the one actually doing the streaming from your connection, you're the one pushing it all up to the cloud or up to the internet. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So for something like that, I mean, I would say a way to reduce that, potentially to test out something, would be take the video, run it through a tool. For example, I like the tool handbrake.fr. So take your video file, run it through Handbrake, and reduce the file size, and then see if that plays better. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I'd recommend, if you need to, adjust the video quality, check out Handbrake. Okay.
Great point.
Yes.
Anything else
Right.
you would add, Leticia?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely important, and also asking yourself, maybe a little shorter videos, or I mean, I know I've been putting videos in my content. I just try to do away with it because, again, it does interfere, with the quality of the live. But
Yeah. So that's what I'd recommend, Jericho. Like, definitely go and try that, because it's the key thing is going to be to help you diagnose where is your issue coming from. Is it, if for example, if you reduce the video size and then try to upload it during your broadcast, see if that actually uploads faster.
right,
The other thing also, make sure, if you can, hardwire into Ethernet. And then the other side of it also is going to be to check your internet upload and download speeds. Your upload speed is key. Speedtest.net can help you with that. If you just go there, it'll actually just do an up and a down option for you, and it'll bring back what your speeds are. And then, and that's where I'd start with that. And then that should help eliminate some of the choppiness. If you're getting like buffering, things like that, that should help eliminate those bottlenecks. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Anytime. Thanks a lot for joining
you're
us. We appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you for coming on again.
Okay.
All
So-
right.
I think we had a couple more questions here.
Yes.
Let's see. Let me find a couple of these. Actually, if you want to bring any up, feel free to, Leticia.
Was it Author? No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong question. Author X, he said, "Can you download clips?" Yes. What was that site that you showed again? I wrote it down. Streamable.
Actually. Yeah. So if you go
Yes.
to Streamable, there's an option on Streamable to be able to download. So basically, here, let me actually show you. So basically, once you have created the video, here, let me actually show you this. There we go. Okay, so this is another sample video. So Arthur's asking, I showed earlier how to use Streamable. And so let's say we've created this video clip and we want to actually then do something with it. We can click the create video option, and they should have the ability to download at that point. So that'll be an option there to give you a different, smaller piece of a video. There are also other applications as well if you want to create clips from your video content. YouTube, for example, has, they've got some clipping options as well. There are other programs as well that you can do this, or
Right.
you can even run it in a video editor if you want to. The harder part is run it through like a video editor, like a Final Cut Pro or an InVideo on your mobile phone, and then you can basically create your clip, save it, but that's a much lengthier process than just dragging a slider saying, hey, I want this section, this section, this section. So
Right.
Leticia, feel free to who do you want to bring on next?
Oh, let's bring on Alyssa. And then after Alyssa is Ariel.
Hold on one second. Does Ariel, do you have a question, Ariel, or is that like, okay, go ahead, Leticia.
Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
Hi.
Hi. Good. How are you?
Doing well.
Doing great. What's your
Oh,
show
God.
about?
Don't make me big, okay? Make me as small as possible. I have a show called Kermit and Friends. We're on every Sunday, and it's like a variety show with different people. I interview people last week I interviewed Flesh and Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my co-star is Andy Dick, the comedian. So it's been very fun, but I have a lot of questions for you guys.
Okay.
Okay, my first question. Am I going to be big the whole time?
No,
I can't see you guys. Okay. So my first question is, so I noticed you guys have such a clear picture. You guys look great. It's so clear and it's more professional than me. I'm on a MacBook Air, and it says like 720 webcam. It's the brand new one, but it's so blurry on like YouTube. It's fine on Facebook. It's fine on Periscope, but on YouTube, it's so blurry. What should I get?
So I'm going to actually do this. I'm going to switch my camera real quick.
Okay.
So I also have a MacBook. This is one of the, I assume, is this the newer MacBook you're using, or is this?
I have the one that's the M3, I think it's called.
Is it the M1 model?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, M1.
Okay.
M1. Yeah.
So this is the same webcam actually.
Okay.
In yours. Now, I would say this, obviously you see the view changed a little bit, but the webcam in the new Apple MacBooks, the M1 models, is fantastic. They've actually improved it with software. So if yours, for example, in your case, I assume that's a window behind you.
Yeah, it's a window behind me.
Okay. So if that's where you're streaming, part of the reason why you might be getting a different looking webcam is because you've got too much light coming in. Like the window actually needs to be the opposite way, i.e. if it's behind you, like literally all that light is coming in to that camera. And then the camera is then trying to figure out, because it's using the software, to interpolate your edging and the window. And there's a lot there, obviously, for it to kind of be.
Well, your other camera looked a lot better. What was that?
Okay, so my other camera is we get this all the time, actually. My other camera is actually
the other one looked bad to me. I don't know. The other one looked like not good. So
this is a Sony. This is a Sony A6400 webcam. Webcam camera. It's a mirrorless DSLR camera. It's a much more expensive product.
Wait, 864. What was it? Sony 864.
A6400. Yeah.
Oh.
And there's a 6100 model as well, but it's that camera. And then the reason I have the blur is I have a Sigma lens attached to it. Now, I will give you a tip though.
Jeez.
So if you don't want to go that route, a DSLR, the extra lens and all the other stuff, you can actually use your smartphone. I would recommend, there's a video on our YouTube channel where we're demoing how to use Re-Incubate Camo. And that's an app. It basically installs on your Mac, it installs on your phone, and it uses the camera in the smartphone. And the picture quality, I will tell you right now, it rivals the one that you're seeing right now. I
actually, when people use their iPhones, or what's the other thing? Not iPhone.
Webcam?
No, iPad. Okay. It's a lot better than mine, I noticed. But the only thing about that is I feel like there would be a problem controlling everything. So, when you have to look at, private chat comments, and then you're looking at other things or bringing up videos, that would be so hard to do on, an iPhone. What is the price of that Sony A6400?
You're looking at probably about, minimum, the camera and the lens is about $1,000.
Wow. That's a lot.
And then you also, on top of that, you also need capture card to be able to connect it into the computer, and that's going to run you about $100 to $150.
Okay, and what's a step down from that?
You can a Canon M50 is a good step down. There's also a Sony ZV-1. That's a very similar product as well, actually. So that one is, let me see, the ZV-1 is about 600, maybe a little bit less.
Okay.
That's another very good model. It's a ZV-1. Yeah.
So the Logitech ones are no good. The ones that are cheap. Oh, okay.
They're good, but it's not going to work the way your setup is now. You have to turn your.
I have a lot of lights in front of me. This is actually the best view of my apartment.
Okay.
so I have lights in front of me. I feel like the more lights you have in front of me, the better, right?
Yes.
But so what you're saying is, so the cheaper ones, like the ones on Amazon, like Logitech,
the C920 or something.
Yeah, like those will work good. So C920 with a MacBook Air as well.
Yeah. Everything should totally work just fine. I mean,
okay.
So one thing I would recommend, if you get So the challenge that a lot of people get when they try to, for example, use like just the Logitech webcam.
Yeah.
So the challenge is that the camera it's a good camera, but you have to have the right kind of lighting. So
Yeah.
for example, if you don't put good lighting, you're going to notice, I mean, the edges are still going to be, there's not going to be a ton of definition between the edge between you and the background. And so, if you don't have enough lighting, that's a really small camera to start, a sensor. And so the thing is, if you don't have enough lighting, it's going to look bad. So you're going to have to add enough light. Now, in your case, you have light coming from all over the place.
Yeah, everywhere.
And and I'll say this: the problem with that is that you have too much light coming in, and so you have to figure out a way to control the light. So, for example, I'll tell you right now, I have one light. It's a ring light right in front of me, and that's it. But I have a solid wall behind me. So, or in this case, it's a vinyl wall. But like,
can you share the light that's in front of you? What that is? Is it over $1,000 again?
Nope. No, not at all. No.
I'm gonna be broke after I'm done talking to you guys.
By the way, I'm sensing this. Yeah. So no, you don't need. Charles is over here laughing. Yeah. He's backstage laughing. So no, it's just a ring light. It's I think it's a $80 like newer ring light.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's different sizes. Like you can get the ones that actually can adjust. So for example, there's some that it's just white light or it's just yellow light. And so there's one where it's white, yellow, and that can be adjusted by a knob. And then other ones have the whole spectrum. They can go from white all the way through the whole spectrum of different colors if you wanted to have that. But basically 18-inch ring light. Very simple. And if you private message me, I'm happy to send you.
Right.
Okay. I will. And then my other question, I have a few questions. Is there any way to take phone calls through like the actual show, the way we would share a video clip or, to get the sound really good? Because sometimes I'll take a phone call just on my cell phone and it doesn't sound that great.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. So by the way, I'll answer that question, but I want to add one other thing to your camera question. So if you get the Logitech webcam, I'd recommend downloading the Logitech Capture app. And it's a free app that Logitech provides. What it's going to do is it's going to allow you to make some camera adjustments. Like if, for example, if you have, like you may need to crank the like brightness up, for example, and you can do this outside of the app and then bring it in and you can see, and that should help enhance the quality of that webcam. And I recommend everybody that has a Logitech webcam use that.
Right.
So it's an app in addition that they don't say to download it, but it's an extra thing to download.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like a companion utility app.
Right. Actually, when you do add it, when you put the USB in your laptop, there will be a pop-up to say, hey, do you want to download the Logitech? So it does sort of remind you to do it. Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Okay, so your other question is how to create a call-in show. So there are a few different ways for this. So for example, what you can do is we're going to recommend equipment. It works better with equipment. You have a mixer, for example, and the mixer has an input for a cell phone. And so basically it's a separate channel in the mixer. And the way that works is your phone is plugged into that. Your mixer is connected to your computer. Your microphone is connected to your mixer. And then when you talk, somebody, let's just say Leticia calls in, she calls in to my phone, whether that's a WhatsApp number, a FaceTime number, a Google Voice number, a number. It doesn't have to be your personal number. It could be, something specifically for your business. Somebody calls into that number, they come into the mixer, and then you can bring them directly into their audio directly into the studio. Does that make sense?
Okay, so it's a separate thing, another separate thing.
Totally separate thing. Yes, that's the easiest way to do it.
Okay, so it's a mixer.
And yeah, go ahead.
But how do you like integrate that with StreamYard? That's what I don't understand about it.
So the mixer here, I'll share let me share my screen here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my audio settings here. And so let's do this. So this is my audio. Here's my audio settings. Obviously it looks a little busy here. So if I go to cam mic and I go to audio, you're going to see, for example, my mic is set. I use a Rodecaster Pro, and basically everything is run into this. And then in StreamYard, all I'm doing is selecting the audio source and the speaker source.
Oh, so if you, in the mic source, if you have a mixer there, it'll say it, and then it'll look kind of like the way it looks when you upload a video?
Yes.
Oh, and then so
Therefore, when someone calls, you just add that to the screen. So everything, all of my audio runs directly into my mixer.
Okay.
And then I select one source. In this case, my source is my Rodecaster Pro. And therefore, if my phone was hooked up, somebody calls into my phone, I then can bring it directly into the broadcast. And there's different mixers. You don't have to have the Rodecaster Pro. There's the Zoom PodTrack P8. There's the PodTrack P4. There's actually an article as well that I just dropped a link to. If you want to check that out as well. It's on some different ways to make a call-in show.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is good. Okay. So, okay. That's another thing. Okay. So, the third thing I want to ask is just like a community question. I do my show every Sunday, and sometimes I struggle to get guests. So I'm wondering if through the Streamyard community, if there's an area where people that want to be guests on shows can say, oh, I'm really familiar with Streamyard. I have a great camera. I have this $1,000 camera. I want to be on camera on somebody's show. Is there somewhere that does that where I can gather guests that would be interesting for my show?
Leticia, do you want to join that one or take that one?
I'm not sure if there is there an area where she can gather guests within the Streamyard community?
I will say this. We do usually have a couple of posts in the Facebook group where, like, for example, if you're looking for guests, you could go in there and say, hey, I'm looking, like, you could ask that you're looking for guests. Part of it's going to be this. I always recommend to people that you get in the habit of doing some networking and doing outreach to people. For example, one thing I do, so I run a show, I run the longest social media marketing news talk show. And like what I've done over time is I built a process and my process is pretty straightforward. I have a spreadsheet where it's all my episodes, who my current guest is, who my next guest is, and so forth. And then I keep a separate tab of all the people I want to invite. And then what I do is I have a URL that I send them to join, to like register to be a guest. Like, for example, you can use Calendly, Harmonizely. It's a calendar type app. And you set up a calendar, for example, maybe just for your show of when they can go and book, along with some questions, things like that. And then all I do is I just say, hey, like Leticia, hey, Leticia, do you want to be a guest on my show? This is what it's about. I'd love to have you. And if she says yes, I send her the link. She does the booking. It goes up on my calendar. And then I go and reference that for my show.
Right. So, what I do also is I have a show that I do every Saturday, but on Wednesday nights, I go live and I say, hey, this is what this week's topic is going to be about. If you're interested in being a guest, go here. So it's also like, you also got to do a little bit of marketing to get guests. Like, people are just not going to just show up just to show up. You got to give that push. So in me doing that, I'm like getting my audience planned and set up for the topic to come. And I'm also allowing people who want to show up on the show where they give their talking points on the topic an opportunity to reach out to me in between Wednesday and Friday, let's say. So they get to run a show. They get all the details about the show. If I have to get on a call with them, I can do that. We're all set and the show starts and we get going.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
Anytime.
You're welcome.
And like I said, feel free to private message me if you have specific other questions. And again, join the Facebook group as well. I just did. The other thing also, just real quick, I want to highlight NLTMW's comment here, about just building a professional stream. It's starting with what you have and then making smart purchases of what to spend money on.
Right.
And the reason, for example, the reason I went with this mixer was because I actually had spent more money on other equipment and it wasn't the right equipment, and so I ended up buying it. I then was like, well, I want to actually do something else. Oh, wait, the equipment doesn't let me do that. And so it's about being smart about like what purchase you make. So, and investing wisely, like for example, audio is key. And then going into the video side. So for example, you don't need an expensive camera. Start with an external webcam. Test out, for example, this option as well. It actually works really well. It actually uses the camera as your camera. So that's where I'd start.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for being on.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Awesome. That was great. Oop. That was great.
Okay, Leticia, we got a motor actually. A lot of guests and a lot of stuff to get through.
So I want to get through the guests first, and then we jump into the questions in the chat.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring on Paul.
Charles is next.
Charles. Okay.
Yes.
Charles, we're going to go ahead and bring you on. Got about 5 minutes. There we go. Oh, I'll bring on Charles. How are we doing, Charles?
What is good, people? What is good?
Woo!
Awesome job. Real quick, when you guys were talking about the business, I went to go get the Bible out because you guys were dropping some amen knowledge on him about the brand. People,
Yes.
it's all about the brand. It's you. You are the brand. So great topics for those guys. It was awesome.
Yes.
What I'm asking for, my friend, is the other day I was streaming, and you can look at the views on the top left. It shows you who's watching you, how many comments, what platform they're watching you on, and in the likes and the hearts, they can see all that as well on the left. Well, I scrolled over it and highlighted. I would love the option of clicking on it to respond back to them directly. So even though they don't put a comment in the chat, I can see who shared it, liked it, put the hearts, put the likes. I want to see if I could click on them to send them a direct message, if that's possible.
Right. That's a good feature. That
Awesome.
way,
Noted.
also it'll be less windows you have to open up and all that stuff because it's
Right.
all on Streamyard. I get it. Mhm.
Yeah, it's all there. When they put a like, I see the name, says who liked it and everything. It's
Mhm.
awesome. So if you can just add that to it, it'd be fantastic. And then last week, I just want to shout out all the people that messaged me from the last show. They're asking questions and everything. But the one thing that I found funny is like when I would talk back to them, and you said it, but I don't think people really understood. StreamYard is, how can I say it? StreamYard is a component. The main thing first is your computer.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of people are asking me, oh, my mic's not working. This doesn't work. That doesn't work. And I said, okay, but what computer are you using? And they're telling me, I'm like, well, your computer cannot hold all that power. You're adding a new mic. You're adding this type of mixer. You're adding this. Your poor little computer is struggling for all this new technology you're adding to it. So if you guys are going to stream, first thing you should look at is the baby. The baby is not StreamYard. The baby is your computer. So if
Right.
your computer can't handle all this weight, it's not going to perform to the 100%. So you can go out and get all these USB mics and everything, but if the computer can't handle all this new technology, you don't have a new capture card, you don't have space on your computer, it's not going to work real good.
Right. Right.
So make sure that you check the baby out first. Check the speed. Check what has the new versions on it. That's too.
Mhm.
Your computer might need an upgrade. Get the upgrade. Do all that stuff first. So,
Absolutely.
and then just real quick, the last guest was asking about how to bring phone calls in, right? Don't forget, guys, you can get one of these.
Right.
Oh, yes.
Easy.
The iRig, yes. And that's
Plug
$100
in.
and something, right?
Yeah, it's on sale. Where are we? You just have to plug it in, plug the phone in. That's right into your system.
Mhm.
You can get calls.
Right.
Sorry, that's the iRig 2, right? So that's actually a $40 interface. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
there's
that plugs in, your phone plugs into that, and then you take the phone call basically off of that as well.
Yeah, it converts it automatically for you. You don't have to do anything. You just plug it in. It will convert the sound to analog and back and forth. And then boom, you're getting calls coming right into your episode. So
Awesome.
there it is, people. You guys are doing an awesome job. I love
Thank you.
listening to you guys. I got 3 computers talking to everybody. I love the community. That's the main thing. And
Mhm.
he was asking about guests. You get guests. You have guests right in front of you. There's people talking right now. Everybody that's asking about StreamYard is a potential guest.
That's right.
But just remember, make sure the guest fits your product.
Exactly. Do the work. That is, do the work to do
So,
that. Yes.
If I'm doing something about cars and Christian doesn't know nothing about cars, I'm not going to invite Christian to my show.
And that's actually kind of what I was trying to I didn't do a good job, I guess, of alluding to that I build my own guest list and I reach out to the people I want to have on, because you have to remember it's, the people you have on, you want to make sure that they are in your wheelhouse. For example, that they're able to talk about the product. For example, I could have somebody on that, they may seem like the best person to have on, but let's say maybe their thing is podcasting and not being comfortable on video. So that reflects on me and my show. So I want to be very specific about who I have on, who I invite on. I guarantee you that if you want to have a guest on, like there are going to be no shortage of guests. People will want to be a guest.
Line
It's
up,
about
yeah.
you asking them.
Right. And you also do your research, because a lot of people are great at doing streams and shows by themselves. But when you get them on a guest, they're like, even when you do prepare, even when you do have a little pre-meeting and run a show, it's like, I'm like, girl, it's what you do, you know?
Yeah.
So that's another thing. You got to look at that too. So it's more layers to this, like an onion.
There you go. There you go.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you very much, Charles.
No problem. Real quick, BK42 wants to know what's in my ear.
Oh, yes. Yes, she
Okay.
asked that. That's his hearing aid.
There it is. That's what I'm using right there. All right. It's called it's a clear.
Here, show that again. Yeah. So it's that. Yep.
Oh, those are cool.
And I've got similar ones.
Wraps in the ear.
Yeah.
Pull the string at the back.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. No
Bam.
big phones. So that's the ones I'm using right there. You can get them on Amazon, and it comes with a little handy pack, and yeah, they work perfectly fine. So there you go.
Awesome.
Love it.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you, Charles.
Okay. Very cool. So, yeah, and I just want to highlight Cindy's comment here real quick, and then we're going to bring on Paulie here. You know, starting where you are at times. Yeah, like that's the one that we can't stress enough. Start where you're at, but also work within a budget. So like you don't need an expensive mic, you don't need an expensive camera. Like, you know, make the smart investments in the things. So for example, you know, we always tell people at the beginning of their streams, they should always try to focus on the audio. So start with, you know, the headphones that you currently have, but then, you know, build up to adding a different mic, for example.
Mm-hmm. And listen, guys, if that's your preference to spend a little bit extra, then that's your preference. If you want to say, you know what, I'm gonna wait about 6 months so I can get $1,000 cam or a $500 mic, then that's your preference. Like we all have a particular preference. Some people like Louis Vuitton versus off-brand. It's like, so that's what I'm trying to say. Is like some people would say, yeah, I may not have it now, but I'm gonna save up for it. I'm gonna make sure to get it. So also there's nothing wrong with that as well. Then buying something cheap and having to rebuy that again. This is something, if you're taking your show for it to be something consistent that you want to do for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, then you got to say, let me just focus on really buying equipment or software, but I only buy it one time. So that's the flip side of it as well. I don't honestly, I'm for people who have a specific preference and they're buying or saving according to their preference. I'm okay with that.
Awesome.
Yeah, we have Paulie next.
Yeah, go ahead and bring on Paulie.
Yes, Paulie. Yes. Sorry, I messed up his name in the chat. I was like Pauline. I was like, oh. Hey, Paulie, what's your show about? What's your question?
And I think you muted. I don't have any audio actually, Paulie.
I don't hear anything either. You're not on mute though. You're not on mute. Is the mic you're using, is it set? Yeah. Go into settings. Let's go. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah. Sometimes you get.
Yeah, it's because I had my wireless on yesterday.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
See, I always make that mistake too.
We did a karaoke stream yesterday, so I was with the wireless thing.
Okay.
So
Nice.
yeah,
So
I was
thanks
just
for joining us.
yeah, thank you guys. I was doing a search, and it was great that you guys are live. My question is, I have memberships, and I'm doing a membership stream. How do I get their answers and questions into the chat interface so I can see them?
So if those are coming in from, I assume you're embedding from like a YouTube channel or something. Yeah. So YouTube doesn't actually let you bring comments in if you're using, because I assume you're using the embed feature from YouTube, right?
I'm sorry. Mrs. Slant was in my ear. Can you repeat that?
I was saying, if you're using a YouTube embed of the live stream, I don't think, from what I was reading, because I had somebody ask this question, I was reading that YouTube doesn't actually allow you to bring the comments in if you're using the embed feature. They make them stay on their platform.
Well, I noticed now that YouTube has that. They have the membership. You know.
Mhm. Yeah.
You
Where
know.
people can. Yep.
Public, private. So when I do it private, because you guys don't have that membership thing, you just have public or private when I'm creating the broadcast, right?
Right.
So obviously you guys don't have that yet. Why don't you have it? Just
Oh,
kidding.
I get what he's saying.
And it may be because YouTube doesn't allow the API. They don't.
Right.
You might not have. I don't know what's in the API access. It may be the API access, but I will tell you what I will do. I will note it as a feature request from you.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
see what we
it.
can
I don't.
actually-
I want it to happen now. And I was like,
I know, right? And here's the thing: it may be an easy. I don't know how easy of an addition it is.
Well,
First,
this is-
congrats
this
on
is
having
new
a
for me.
membership. Yeah.
the memberships are new for me because I
Right.
got monetized about 2 months ago. I have
Congrats.
34
congrats.
members now,
Mm-hmm.
paying members. So I'm like,
Residuals, honey. Yeah.
okay. I was like, I want Leticia on my show.
Inbox me up there.
Obviously I want to do more interactive things with them, and so I'm gonna do Sunday. I'm actually gifting them little gifts.
Mhm.
So while we're going live and talking, unboxing stuff for them, I want to be able to see them in the interface. But I guess I have to switch over for now to the YouTube interface. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can create an unlisted video through StreamYard and give them the link to that unlisted video. I don't know if you I don't have a membership on YouTube yet myself yet. But I was thinking maybe the workaround can be, I think you can still post in your membership and they just get that StreamYard, YouTube.
Other side of the fridge.
Yeah.
Yo, Mrs. Slant's house. So yeah, I'm thinking unlisted then, because maybe I went private before. And if it's unlisted, then that just means that only people who I give the link to, because I want it to be private for the members, but if it's unlisted, then we should be all right.
Yeah. Am I frozen or is it Christian frozen?
You were frozen for a second. Christian is still frozen, but what a look. He's
Okay.
giving.
I was like, why is he looking at me like that?
So handsome. Oh, what happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
we're here back on the Leticia show.
Christian. Hi guys. Yeah, so try that out and see if that will allow you. It will definitely allow you to bring up the comments, because again, you're just we're doing that workaround.
Yeah, because I noticed they're adding a whole new interface with all the membership stuff on YouTube, which is great. And I just wanted to, I want to take advantage of every StreamYard,
right,
trick or whatever, So yeah.
They're giving shout outs to Miss Slant. She's a star, they're saying.
Yeah, she is. She's actually doing a live Zoom makeover over there. So
oh wow.
I gotta go help them out. But the time is like, you guys are live. I wanted to get these questions,
Awesome. We love your setup, and thank you so much for coming on with your question.
Yeah, thank you. You have a good day. Bye, everybody.
You too. Bye, sweetie.
So Leticia, can you hear me or no?
Yes, I can hear you. We can't see you though.
Okay, so here's I'm going to stop my camera actually.
Yeah. Oh, you got to come in like the voice of God.
I'm still in here, by the way. I have basically I have the voice of God mode, or voice of trolls, whatever, or Wizard
Speak
of
to us.
But,
yes.
Let's do this. Let's go and bring on our next guest here. I know we've got
Art, artist. He is up next. Hey, Art, the artist. Oh, you got to come off mute, babe.
There we go. How's that?
Great. Tell us about your show and what's your question?
Well, what I got is I got more than one subject. I mean, I'm an artist. I build websites. Plus, I promote artists. So I have 4 websites.
Okay.
And the 3 that I have, I'm going to be streaming from those websites. And I'm using a WordPress, and there's a plugin called Webinar Press that integrates everything. But everything's getting recorded to YouTube and things like that.
Right.
And I have one YouTube channel, and because of the algorithms and search engines and things like that, my channel is mainly about art. Now, is that if I do websites, I do that, and everything gets put on YouTube, is that a good idea, or should I create a new channel for each subject? You know, one for websites, one for promotions, and one for, you know, my artwork.
Right, right. My personal opinion, I think all those, you know, things you could talk about all connect into one thing. What I'm saying is that you're not talking about art and then weight loss and then Bitcoin and then everything else. It's like art does connect with websites because that falls into the design piece. So I do see them all connecting. I would, if I were you, since all of the things you talk about are congruent with each other, make one main umbrella web like domain name. Like I have Campbell Success Network. That's the umbrella. And then under that, I have email marketing. I have graphic design. I have live events. I have a lot of other things under that, but Campbell Success Network is the main umbrella. And then maybe instead of having like 3 sites, maybe you could still have those sites, but maybe have a link tree so that way when we go to the creative design.com, we can then choose which show we want to see by the button. You know what I'm saying? So that way I'm thinking of productivity wise when you're in how much work you're doing right now. Yeah. So first thing I'm trying to get you would do for you is like limit the amount of pull you're being pulled in so many different directions because you just created 4 different skyscrapers, right? Think of like New York City, all the skyscrapers, right? Yeah. Instead, create one skyscraper that has all of these things you do under it because all these things you do connect with each other. That makes sense. Like if Christian can't talk about social media and football on his show, like, oh, we're going to talk about the Vikings today. And then he gets into, now let's talk about the changes with Facebook. He's always going to be like, wait a minute, we were just talking about Vikings yesterday. And now you're talking about social media. It don't connect. Like for him, he would need to make a separate page because it's 2 totally different audiences. You have what you do. You narrowed it down with still a particular audience. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Because I focus on, you know, I've been an artist my whole life, and I mean, I'm 60, and you know, and through my businesses and things like that, I've learned, you know, how to market. I've been, you know, doing online marketing for 20 years, you know, and artists don't know pretty much anything about it, you know. So what I'm doing is I'm going to start up webinars and things like that.
Right. Oh, that's good. So you're doing the second layer of business, which is again the packaging, the design, the overall aesthetic. So that's real good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you know the website, you know, is basically focused on building websites, and then the Creatives Daily is for promoting artists.
Right.
And then of course I have my artwork. You know, so it's, you know, and that's was kind of confusing me. You know, if I put everything on YouTube, you know, then it's going to mix things up. And from what I understand from my experience, it's good to have a website focused on one thing.
Right.
But what you're saying makes sense too. Because,
it does.
Yeah, because it's all pointed to artists. You know, it's not just
one audience. Yeah. So you don't need all this stuff, you know, because that's making more work on you. And now you're making your audience jump around, and you don't want to do that. You get them jumped around, they jump off into something else, somebody else that gets them focused. Also, guys, we're going to start the giveaway in just a second. Going to get the coffee mug. So type in hashtag love StreamYard in the comments right now. Right after Art the Artist, we're going to get in the giveaway. All right, Art the Artist, all good?
Yep, sounds good.
Awesome. Okay, so while you guys are adding in your hashtag love StreamYard all together, not separate, all together, we're going to bring on JP.
What? I kind of wasn't ready for that.
I like that shirt.
Oh, thank you. This is actually my work shirt. I was typing in the love StreamYard, and it's like, oh, here I am. What?
You're on. How you doing? What's your show about? What's your question?
I'm good. Okay. I'm a vlogger.
Yes.
You can see there, it's the J Vlog. So it's a day in the life type thing. And I promote Japanese sports so that I can gather a larger audience and they can get to know me. That's basically what the show is about. But I have one comment to make and one request.
Yes.
Or a question. Okay, the comment. Elisa was talking about call-ins. Line. Discord. You can set the audio. Sorry for the cans. Yes, my wireless are charging, but you can set the desktop audio so that it can pick up whatever the desktop, whether it's a game or anything like that. You can set it so that it picks up that and records it and pushes it to StreamYard.
Yes.
Easy peasy.
Yes.
You don't need a phone cable to hook it up, right? You can do Line, Discord, whatever free app you want. Easy peasy. It's going to take maybe a day to work it out. Request.
Okay.
When I'm on mobile and I'm on StreamYard, I have to go through a bunch of settings to flip the camera. As opposed to YouTube, there's a little icon right there, and I flip the camera. Prism, your main competition. There's a little icon right there, and I can flip the camera. Whereas with StreamYard, settings, camera, can I do this? Okay, scroll up. Which camera do I want to use? Front or back? I would really like to get that fixed. I would really like to get that fixed.
A lot of people in the comments here in the private chat are seconding that. Awesome. Yes.
And you guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay,
yeah, we can hear you, Chris.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to my camera, but yeah. So I noted that about the flipping of the camera. It may have to. I'm not sure, but it may have to do with how it's because it's going through the browser. I'm not sure if they don't let you actually allow that, and maybe that's actually what JP or NLTMW here is saying, that Chrome doesn't have a built-in camera flipping button. That could be it as well, but I don't know exactly. So, but I did make a note of that, and I think it's a great request, actually.
Yeah,
So,
because it is, like I'm telling you guys, Prism right now is doing really, really well because we can put the images in, we can put the videos in. If I'm talking about the news, even on mobile, I sit there and drag and drop these images in. Yeah. But when I'm on with StreamYard, I'm going settings, do this, do this, do this, do this. So having that little toggle, one touch toggle, will make a world of difference.
You got it. All right, we're gonna put in that request. That's a good request, by the way. Thank you, JP.
Yeah, thanks.
Take care, guys.
Nice. All right, let's. Oh, I'm sorry, JP. I'm sorry, JP. Oh my, it's my nails.
No worries. Okay, so JP, we made a note about that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do the giveaway drawing now, and you're gonna have a chance to win the. Let me pull that up. The
coffee
mug, actually. And so again, all you have to do is put in #LeftStreamer. This is the giveaway tool. This is included, by the way, in all of your StreamYard plans. If you go to streamyard.com/giveaway, you'll get access to this same exact tool with your plan. So I'm going to go and do the drawing, and we're going to pick a winner. And then what I want that winner to do, let's just see who wins first. Kahalagia. So do me a favor, email marketing@streamyard.com. And so email marketing@streamyard.com, and then I will actually get your mug out to you. So congratulations. Okay.
Congrats.
Sorry, I had to get the banner ready. Actually, I thought I had the banner, but it's marketing@streamyard.com. Just refer to live stream reviews and I'll get your mug mailed out to you. With that, Leticia, I'm going to bring you back up actually. So there we go. I'm going to bring Leticia back up. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I have to actually jump. I have another engagement as well this afternoon. So we're going to be back next, next Saturday, right, Leticia?
That's right. Next Saturday.
12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It should be significantly longer, actually.
Yes.
But we want to make sure we squeeze the maximum value out of this show. My key piece of advice I want to give you is just, again, what is one thing you can start working on your live streams today? This weekend, start on one thing and build. It's all about building. It's not like you're not putting up a house, for example, in a weekend or a month or 2 months. It takes time.
That's right.
And so start live streaming and then keep building. So for example, if you're not getting the views that you want on your streams, test out a strategy, try it out for a month.
Right.
And then continue to adjust and adapt. But with that, we will see you all.
You're right, Christian. Right.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Bye, guys. Bye.